Welcome to the Radio Revenue Podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into a company that honestly is foundational to nearly every piece of technology you interact with daily, yet you might never have heard its name. KLA Corporation.
That's right.
They are a true behind-the-scenes powerhouse, enabling everything from the chips in your smartphone to the advanced components driving artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. And our mission today is really to cut through the complexity. We want to extract the most important insights from KLA's latest annual report, their Form 10K for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2024.
Right.
The goal is to help you quickly become well-informed about a company that is just so critical to the electronics industry's innovation and efficiency.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When someone hears KLA Corporation, they probably draw a blank, like you said. But you're telling me they're absolutely everywhere in our tech.
They really are.
What exactly do they do, in plain English? How do they fit into this massive, intricate tech landscape?
Okay, so at its core, KLA is a leading supplier of industry-leading equipment and services that enable innovation throughout the electronics industry.
Enable innovation.
Okay. Yeah, think of them as the silent enablers of precision manufacturing. They provide advanced process control and process-enabling solutions.
For making what, specifically?
For making essential components. This includes things like wafers, the raw silicon disks, and then the incredibly intricate reticles and masks. Think of these as the microscopic stencils or blueprints, basically, that etch the complex circuits onto those wafers.
Wow, okay.
They also help with integrated circuits, what we commonly call chips, and even the package ICs and printed circuit boards, or PCBs, that hold everything together in your devices.
So they're not actually making the chips themselves?
No, not directly.
But they're creating the hyper-precise tools and processes that ensure the chips can be made, and made incredibly well. Is that it?
Precisely. Their solutions are designed to help customers dramatically boost their output, their yields, by cutting down on waste, errors, and overall costs.
Which must directly impact the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This, in turn, directly improves their profitability and return on investment. I mean, imagine a multi-billion-dollar chip fabrication plant.
Yeah.
Even a fraction of a percent improvement in yield, that is, the number of usable chips they get from each wafer, can translate into hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's huge.
KLA helps manufacturers achieve that critical efficiency. And the company itself, it has a rich history. It formed as KLA Tencor Corporation back in April 1997.
Okay.
That was through a merger of two leaders in semiconductor capital equipment. Today, they operate across three main reportable segments: semiconductor process control, specialty semiconductor process, and PCB and component inspection.
That's fascinating because it means the phone in your pocket, the smart TV, the intricate systems in an electric vehicle, even the powerful AI servers driving innovation. None of them would be possible, really, without the unseen technologies and expertise that KLA provides. They truly are an invisible but utterly essential backbone of our modern tech world.
Well put.
When you understand what KLA does, it quickly becomes clear they're not just a company, they're intertwined with the biggest tech shifts happening right now.
Definitely.
What are some of those overarching industry trends that make their work so absolutely critical?
Well, KLA's core focus is clearly enabling technological advances and improving manufacturing yields in the semiconductor industry. That's their playground.
Right.
And it's a rapidly evolving sector. They're right at the heart of it. We're seeing huge growth drivers, particularly the surging demand for semiconductors from leading-edge foundry and logic manufacturers.
And why is that demand surging?
It's fueled by the need for massive computational power and connectivity for markets like artificial intelligence, AI, and the rollout of 5G wireless technology.
Okay, AI and 5G, big ones.
Huge. But it's not just that. Other significant drivers include the increasing adoption of electric vehicles and the growing intelligence built into automobiles.
More chips in cars.
Exactly. And, of course, the ever-present demand for more memory chips.
And building these advanced facilities, the fabs, is incredibly expensive, isn't it? That must put immense pressure on their customers to get everything perfect.
Oh, absolutely. The stakes are incredibly high. The source highlights that the construction of an advanced IC fabrication facility today can cost well above $10 billion.
$10 billion. Wow.
To put that into perspective, that's more expensive than some skyscrapers or even entire sports stadiums.
So that staggering investment makes KLA's ability to help significantly improve yields.
Hmm.
Not just valuable, but utterly vital for their customers' bottom line and their ability to stay competitive.
Vital is the right word. It's not a nice to have, it's essential.
Given such massive investments and rapid technological shifts, this isn't just a regional game, is it? What about KLA's global footprint and their key customers? Are they truly everywhere?
They certainly have an extensive international presence. Their annual report clearly shows that international revenues accounted for approximately 89%, 88%, and 90% of our total revenues in the last 3 fiscal years, ending June 30th, 2024, 23, and 22, respectively.
So around 90% consistently.
Pretty consistently, yeah. Their major operating regions span across China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, Europe, and Israel.
The key hubs for semiconductor manufacturing.
Exactly. And in terms of top customers, those who accounted for more than 10% of their total revenues include giants like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company Limited, TSMC, and Samsung Electronics.
The biggest names, okay. But, the global supply chain has faced a lot of scrutiny recently, and there are significant geopolitical factors at play, especially concerning places like China.
That's a huge factor.
How does a global company like KLA navigate that complex environment?
It's a very dynamic and complex environment for them. The report definitely mentions that international sales can be affected by various factors, including governmental controls, restrictions on export technology, political instability, trade restrictions, and changes in tariffs.
Right, the usual suspects.
Yeah. And specifically, it references the U.S. export controls on advanced computing semiconductors and manufacturing equipment to China, including entities on the U.S. Entity List.
Which directly impacts KLA.
It directly impacts KLA's ability to provide products and services to certain entities without a special license. KLA's annual report makes it clear they are actively working to comply with these rules, applying for necessary licenses where needed.
So they're navigating it carefully.
They have to. It's a striking example of how these sort of macro-level geopolitical dynamics can directly influence a company's day-to-day operations and sales in such a critical globalized industry.
So considering those global complexities and the sheer scale of the industry, how has KLA's strategic position actually translated into their recent financial performance? What do the numbers tell us for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2024?
Well, the financials for fiscal year 2024 show a picture of, let's say, strategic adjustment during a broader industry slowdown.
Okay.
Total revenues were $9.81 billion. That's actually a decrease from $10.52 billion in fiscal year 2023.
A dip. Why was that?
This decline is primarily attributed to a broad, macro-driven slowdown in the industry overall and reduced capital expenditure plans by their customers, sort of a cyclical dip.
Got it. And net income?
Net income also saw a decrease, coming in at $2.76 billion, down from $3.39 billion in fiscal year 2023.
But I noticed a positive trend mentioned amidst that overall decline. That seems interesting.
Yes, that's a very important nuance. While product revenues softened, their service revenues actually increased by 10%.
Ah, the recurring revenue.
Exactly. This growth is primarily due to an increase in our installed base, meaning more of their equipment is out in the field, actively requiring ongoing support and maintenance.
That's a good sign for stability.
It really highlights a stable and growing recurring revenue stream for them, which is, a sign of long-term health. KLA also continues to heavily invest in innovation.
R&D spending.
Right. Research and development expenses were $1.28 billion, representing 13% of their total revenues.
13% is significant.
It really is. This level of investment isn't just spending. It's a strategic imperative for KLA to stay at the cutting edge in such a technology-driven and rapidly evolving industry.
And there was a significant strategic adjustment regarding some of their businesses, wasn't there? Something about goodwill impairment?
There was indeed. KLA recorded a $289.47 million impairment of goodwill and purchased intangible assets in fiscal year 2024.
Okay, related to which parts?
Specifically related to their PCB and display businesses. Now, this wasn't a total surprise. It was driven by a deterioration of the long-term forecast for these particular areas.
Right.
And the strategic decision to exit our business of manufacturing flat and flexible panel display by announcing the end of manufacturing of most display products by December 31st, 2024.
So a strategic pivot.
Exactly. It's not just a number. It signals a clear strategic pivot for KLA, allowing them to focus resources on their core, most profitable, and highest growth segments, like semiconductors.
But they'll still service the old equipment.
Yes, the report notes they will continue to provide services to the installed base for these discontinued products.
Okay. So with all these dynamics, the macro slowdown, strategic shifts, What does KLA's balance sheet look like in terms of liquidity, and how are they returning value to shareholders?
Well, KLA maintains a very strong liquidity position. As of June 30, 2024, their cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities totaled $4.50 billion.
$4.5 billion.
Yeah, that's a significant increase of $1.26 billion from the previous fiscal year, demonstrating pretty robust cash flow despite the revenue dip.
Which gives them flexibility.
A lot of flexibility for future investments or market fluctuations.
Yeah.
And for shareholders, KLA has been quite active in returning value. Stock repurchases totaled $1.74 billion in fiscal year 2024.
Buying back shares.
Right, and they still have approximately $2.18 billion available under their current program. Plus, they also declared a quarterly cash dividend of $1.45 per share on August 1st, 2024.
Signaling confidence.
That signals continued commitment to shareholder returns, definitely.
That's a lot of activity, but what really stands out to me is their long-term stock performance. I saw a graph that was quite striking.
Oh, it really is. What's truly fascinating here is how KLA has consistently outperformed the broader market and its industry peers. The source explicitly shows that a $100 investment in KLA Corporation back in June 2019 would have grown to a remarkable $747.40 by June 2024.
7.5 times your money in 5 years.
Pretty much. And to put that in perspective, over the exact same period, that same $100 invested in the S&P 500 would have grown to $201.54.
Okay, doubled.
And in the PHLX Semiconductor Index, it would have reached $402.02.
Quadrupled. Still good, but KLA beat them both significantly.
Yeah, KLA's growth significantly outpaced both the broader market and its industry-specific benchmarks, which really underscores their strategic resilience and unique value proposition within the tech ecosystem.
That financial performance is undeniably robust, but in today's world, a company's health isn't just about the balance sheet, right?
Sure.
Let's shift focus a bit. How does KLA manage its vast global workforce, its environmental impact, and its crucial data protection?
Right. Well, KLA clearly states, our competitive advantage is our people. This seems to be a core tenet for them.
How big is the workforce?
They have a large global workforce of approximately 15,000 regular full-time employees spread across 18 regions.
Wow.
And around 48% of their employees are located in Asia Pacific and Japan, which really highlights their international operational reach.
And how's retention?
This is interesting. They boast a remarkably low voluntary turnover rate of just 3.7% in fiscal year 2024.
3.7%. That's incredibly low for tech.
It really is. The average tech industry turnover can easily be in the double digits, sometimes much higher. So 3.7% speaks volumes about employee satisfaction and retention within KLA.
How do they support that workforce across such a diverse global footprint then? What kind of initiatives do they have in place?
Well, they seem very focused on employee well-being. They offer a wide range of virtual and in-person well-being course offerings covering physical, financial, and mental health.
Holistic approach.
Seems like it. They also support hybrid work options, recognizing the evolving nature of work. And inclusion and diversity, or I&D, is described as a shared aspiration, commitment, and responsibility for them.
Do they have specific programs?
Yes. KLA actively supports several employee resource groups, or ERGs. They mention WISE for Women in STEM Empowered, Connection for Hispanic Latinx employees, Believe for Black employees, and PRISM for LGBTQ+ employees.
So fostering community.
Exactly. These groups are crucial for fostering a sense of community and ensuring diverse voices are heard and supported across their global workforce. And for learning and development, they provide stretch assignments, on-the-job development, as well as classroom and online training.
Investing in skills.
Yeah, and they even partner with prestigious universities like Stanford and the University of Michigan for advanced degrees tailored for KLA employees.
That's a comprehensive approach to their people. What about their environmental commitments? How is a company of this scale approaching sustainability?
They've outlined some pretty ambitious environmental sustainability goals under their Advancing Stewardship Initiative.
Such as?
They are committed to using 100% renewable electricity across our global operations by 2030.
Okay, that's a big one.
And they aim to reduce their Scope 1 and 2 emissions, those are direct emissions, and ones from purchased energy, by 50% by 2030 from a 2021 baseline.
And longer term?
Their ultimate goal is to achieve net zero Scope 1 and 2 emissions by 2050.
Are these goals verified?
Yes, and crucially, these ambitious climate goals have been validated by the Science Based Target Initiative, or SBTI.
Oh, the SBTI.
Right, which is a globally recognized body that ensures corporate emissions targets are actually aligned with climate science.
Yeah.
It adds significant credibility and, a stamp of seriousness to their commitments.
Finally, in a world where data is everything, and cyber threats are a constant evolving challenge,
Always present.
how does KLA protect its vital information and operations in such a complex global environment?
Well, they state they have a robust cybersecurity risk management process, which is designed based on the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, or NIST CSF.
The NIST framework, okay. Standard practice for many large orgs.
It's a widely respected standard, yeah. It gives companies a structured way to identify, protect, detect, respond to, and recover from cyber threats. KLA highlights the role of a dedicated cybersecurity team.
Led by whom?
Led by a Chief Information Security Officer, a CISO, with extensive experience holding an IT degree and a Certified Information Systems Auditor certification with over 20 years in IT roles.
So, qualified leadership.
Seems so. And the Board of Directors also maintains active oversight, receiving quarterly reports of briefings on cybersecurity risks from management. It looks like a multi-layered approach aimed at protecting their critical systems and information.
This deep dive really paints a comprehensive picture of KLA Corporation. They're an indispensable force in the electronics industry, clearly.
Absolutely.
Navigating complex market cycles, tricky geopolitical landscapes, all while continuously investing heavily in innovation and, significantly, in their people.
Exactly. KLA's role as a crucial enabler of technological advancement in the semiconductor and broader electronics industries is, I think, undeniable. They strategically adapt to market conditions and complex global regulations, all while pouring significant resources into R&D and refining their operational efficiency. It's quite the balancing act.
It really is. And here's a provocative thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Given KLA's indispensable role in optimizing manufacturing processes for cutting-edge technologies like AI chips and components for electric vehicles, consider how their focus on yield management and process control isn't just about making things more efficient. It's actually about fundamentally enabling the very existence and scalability of these transformative technologies.
That's a great point.
So what future breakthroughs might hinge on the next incremental improvements KLA helps achieve in chip manufacturing? Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
It was a Revenue Radio podcast. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated with our latest analyses.